my business in Amazon is booming, and I'm renting more warehouses, I'm turning over so much, and I'm making more material, and I bought a private jet, and I'm empty inside. Shalom and bracha, everyone. Welcome back once again to the Rosh Chodesh project. The ability to take a little bit of time and think about the meaningfulness of this new month, Be'ezra Hashem, that we're going to be experiencing. So first, it's interesting that Chodesh Tammuz, this new month, which we're beginning now, is not only a new month, is not only its own special, individual, unique koyach, but it also begins in a certain way, a new chelik of the year, a new section of the year. We mentioned in other shiurim that the months, besides each one having their own individual personality, koyach, and the spiritual light that it encompasses within it, they also work together as groups. Just like the Shvatim in the Midbar camped out together, 3 in the east, 3 in the west, 3 in the north, 3 in the south, so too the months go together also in groups of 3. Each Shevet had his own personality, but the 3 Shvatim in the east all shared the common, they were all Degel Yehuda, Yisachar, and Zvulun, all Bnei Leah, they all shared a common element. And so too Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan share a common element. This month, Tammuz, is the beginning of the next 3 months, the months that are makbil, that correspond to the 3 Shvatim of the south, Reuven, Shimon, and Gad. And again, it's the beginning of a new chelik of the year of these 3 months together. It's also noticeable in the fact that each of the 3 months of each group begin with a different one of the letters of the Shem Havaya. As we mentioned, each month of the year corresponds to a different sir of Havaya. The different way of combining the 4 letters of Hashem's name represent a different ruchniistic light, a different spiritual light. And each one of the months has its own unique sir of Havaya, which corresponds to a certain ruchniistic energy that month carries within it. We spoke all the way at the beginning of the series about the power b'chlal of a Yid living constantly with his chachos, with starting again new. And it's not just starting again new, but like first you're learning geometry, now you're learning algebra, now you're learning math, whatever, now you're learning science, whatever it is. Sheyeh. So each month there's a new avodah for that month. But each of the 3 months that work together as a group all begin with the same letter of the Shem Havaya. So the 3 months, Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan, all begin with a Yud. The next 3 months, Tammuz, Av, and El, all begin with the letter Hey. The next 3 begin with a Vav, and the last 3 begin with the letter Hey again. So like in the order of the 12 months, it's like Kilu Yud, Ke, Vav, Ke, 3 Yuds, 3 Hey, 3 Vav, and 3 K again. So Be'ezra Hashem, this month of Tammuz is beginning a new section of the year, the new Ha'ara, the new light, which corresponds to the 3 Shvatim of the Darim of the south, also Be'ikr B'nei Leah, and also corresponds to the second letter of the Shem Havaya, the letter Hey. So with Hashem Yisbarach's help, let's try to delve into at least a little bit, to touch a little bit, and appreciate the meaningfulness of the month of Tammuz. These 3 months, Tammuz and Av, in a certain way, it's very obvious to see that they work together as a team, as a group. Unfortunately, in a certain way, in a sad way. Tammuz and Av are the months of the Churban Beis HaMikdash. The month of Av, the month Tisha B'Av, the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, the Bayis Rishon, the Bayis Sheni. And Tammuz was really the beginning of the process of the Churban Beis HaMikdash, Shavasa B'Tammuz, when they broke through the wall, and that eventually led to the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. They broke through the wall of Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh. It was the beginning of the end, so to say. Agav, maybe just to mention a nice word, but we know we have 3 different tzoymos that all correspond to the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. Asara B'Tevis was when they laid siege around Yerushalayim. Shavasa B'Tammuz is when they broke through the wall. Tammuz, Al Kapon, is the month of breaking through the wall. First Beis HaMikdash, second Beis HaMikdash. And then Av is the day, Tisha B'Av. Again, the first 9th, 10th. But Tisha B'Av is the month of the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash itself. Rav Shamshon Raphael Hirsch asks, why is it that we have 3 fasts that correspond to the same tzara? The idea was the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. So we should have Tisha B'Av. Like every step. Asar B'Tevis, they made a siege. Again a Tainus. And then Shavasa B'Tammuz. And then Tisha B'Av. Rav Shamshon Hirsch says the idea that each step that took place was an opportunity for us to wake up. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saying, look, Like, it's not so simple. He sent the Nevi'im to warn us, to wake us up, to do tshuva. And second Beis HaMikdash, all the tzaras that were happening, Hashem was trying to wake us up. And each step along the way, really, we had the opportunity, had we noticed what's happening and taken it to heart and woken up and done tshuva, it would have stopped there. So we have a fast of Asar B'Tevis because this step was in itself a momentous occasion. It was a momentous opportunity for us to do tshuva. It's like, Baruch Hu, wait, we see this not so simple. Look what's happening. Yerushalayim is b'matzar. And we didn't. And then Shavas B'Tamas, they broke through the wall. Like, so now wake up and see. Don't let it keep just sliding down. Stop it. Look what's happening. Because Baruch was giving us the opportunities. That's Rav Shlomo Shafal Hirsch is, insight. So just to share another idea also, perhaps of art, Be'ezus Hashem, but really, the Mishnah lists that there's Eser Kedushas Ba'olam, there's 10 levels of Kedusha, the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and the Azar, and the Ezus Kahanim, and so on and so forth, the Chel, right? All the different parts. But there's Be'ikr 3 things. There's the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael as a land, there's the Kedusha of Yerushalayim, the Ir HaMalucha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then there's the Kedusha of the Beis HaMikdash, right? Even though they're broken down, but there's Be'ikr 3 things. Each one is yonik from the innermost one, right? Yerushalayim is yonik from the Beis HaMikdash, Eretz Yisrael is yonik from Yerushalayim. On Asara B'Tevis, the 3 tzaimis really are the loss of each one of these 3 steps. On Asara B'Tevis, when the Goyim put a matzar around Yerushalayim, they encircled, locked Yerushalayim in, so to say, that's Kavyachol is the remes to when Eretz Yisrael lost its ability to be yonik from Yerushalayim. That's, so to say, the Goyim took over Eretz Yisrael, and we only had Yerushalayim left. That's when we lost Eretz Yisrael. And then when they broke through the wall into Yerushalayim and Shavasa B'Tamas, that's when we lost Yerushalayim. At least we had Yerushalayim till then. But now they broke through the wall. The Goyim came into Yerushalayim. Now Yerushalayim wasn't ours anymore either. The Goyim were Metamet. And we lost Yerushalayim. We still had the Beis HaMikdash. Tisha B'Av is the day when we lost the Beis HaMikdash itself. That's when the Beis HaMikdash itself was Ola B'Eish. So each of the 3 tzaimis are really there for us to be misabel on the loss, the chelik of the loss that happened on that day. But Akapanim, to go back, Tammuz and Av are a team, so to say, together. We see that. This team is of the Galus, of the exile, and really of Yadua, the month of Av, is the month where all the tzaris is coming from a loving Father. Avinu Shabashamayim, the month of Av, not someone who, like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, didn't Chasson do it out of sinner or rejection of Klal Yisrael. It was there, Adarabah, because he so desperately wanted us back home. He'll do whatever it takes to get us back home again. And even it was tsaris and it was difficult and it was suffering, but Hashem wanted to bring us back. Kavyachal, I think we mentioned another time also in the shiurim about Klal Yisrael after the Holocaust, Rachmana Litzlan, such terrible pain and suffering and unimaginable destruction. Horrific. And yet, look what happened. Klal Yisrael came back. We have yeshivas and koilim and Kenainar, so much Torah, so many svarim, so many Talmidei Chachamim, b'chazdei shamayim. So like it's an amazing, it's a crazy thing to see that it works, but it works. Klal Yisrael is such a trukah when HaKadosh Baruch Hu does what it takes to wake us up, as painful as it is, but it brings us back with greater cheshek and greater closeness than ever before. So Al Kapanim, and really that's all there to bring us to Tshuva, which is the month of El. So Tammuz, Av, and El is the Galus, and the purpose of what the Galus was there for was to bring us back closer to Hashem Yisparach. We mentioned by the month of Nisan that the month of Nisan has the Shem Havaya Kitzurasa. That's a Chodesh Azay Rosh Chodeshim, the Shefa, the Chodesh of Geula, Chodesh of Emunah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Megala himself to the world. He took us out of Mitzrayim. He showed that he's the Bailim on all the Teva. Everything only exists kafi his will, and he could change it, manipulate it as he desires to. So Al Kapanim, that's the Shem Havaya B'Milua, the greatest open light revelation of Hashem's presence in the world. It's understandable that the month where the Shem Havaya, the Tzir of Havaya, is going to be exactly the opposite of the Shem Havaya Kitzurasa, is going to be K Vav K Yud. That's going to be a month that corresponds to the Golus. That's going to be the month that corresponds to Klal Yisrael when we lost the Beis HaMikdash. When we lost this Or, when we lost the light of Hashem, of having Hashem's presence in our midst, it was the greatest Cheshchas HaGolus, the greatest darkness, so to say, in a certain way, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and took away, destroyed the Makom of Hashras HaShechin in the world when we lost it. Interestingly enough, it seemed to have been, we would ask, would it be Tammuz or Av? It would have seemed to be, I would have thought that it should be Av, because Av is the month. Tammuz Ein Chanami was the breaking through Yerushalayim, but the month that we lost the Beis HaMikdash itself was Av. But it's not. The month of the Tzir of Havaya, exactly backwards, Kei Vav, Kei Yud, is Tammuz. Tammuz really, although the actual destruction happened in Av, but Tammuz, when they broke through the walls of the Beis HaMikdash, they broke through the walls of Yerushalayim and came into Yerushalayim, and like that was the beginning, so to say, Mamish, to end the 3 weeks. The Beinam at Sarim, there's a certain chibur between Tammuz and Av. It was a process that began on Shavuos B'Tammuz and ended on Tisha B'Av. So the month, the Tzir of Havaya is the opposite, is the month of Tammuz. That's the month of the Chashecha, the Golus, where the groundwork was laid for the beginning of the end. And that's where Havaya is backwards. We mentioned also previously, every month the Tzir of Havaya is encapsulated in a pasuk, either a Rosh Chodesh or a Soif Teves. Where is the pasuk of Tammuz? Where is the pasuk of the Tzir of Havaya being exactly backwards? So interesting, it's not a pasuk in the Torah, not all of them are. It's a pasuk in the Navi. And the pasuk in the Navi, it's a pasuk in no place less than Megillas Esther. That's where the pasuk of the month of Tammuz is in Megillas Esther. What pasuk in Megillas Esther? Not something that Mordechai Tzaddik said, not something that Esther Malka said. A pasuk that was said by no one less than Haman or Rasha himself. His pasuk is the pasuk of the month of Tammuz. What's the pasuk? The pasuk is when Haman or Rasha comes back from the party with Esther, the first one, and he walks out and he sees Mordechai Tzaddik Yoshev B'Shar HaMelech. He's not kareid, he's not mishtachave. And Haman or Rasha comes home and he gathers there's Ishtoi, all his friends, who later end up being Chachamav, not his friends. Once he gets himself into trouble, all of a sudden his friends are not his friends anymore, but Akaponim, they were Oyavav. And he tells them, he tells them over, like, I'm the richest man, and Esther Malka, Afle Via Esther Malka, the Mishra Shasarasa Ki Moisi, nobody except me. And then he says these words, V'chol ze eineno shoyveli. All this is worth nothing to me. V'chol shosh, and Royas, Mordechai Tzaddik Yoshev B'Shar HaMelech, and he doesn't bow down to me. It's worth nothing. I want this guy. It makes me miserable and angry, and I need to get him. And then they tell him, like, go and take him and hang him, and then come to tomorrow's party. Sameach v'tayim leiv, and the whole beginning again by Lailu Nodash Nasamalach. Those words, v'chol zeh, all this that I have, and I'm the richest man, I'm the second in command to the king, who's Malach B'Kippah, he's the most powerful king in the world, and I'm second in command to him. But v'chol zeh einenu shoyveli, it's not worth anything to me if Mordechai Tzaddik doesn't bow down to me. Those 4 words, zeh einenu shoyveli. Zeh is a hey, einenu is a vav, shoyve is again a hey, li is a yud. Those 4 words, it's kei vav, kei yud. B'soif tevis, v'chol zeh einenu shoyve li. The soif tevis is the same Havaya backwards. That's where the Tzir of Havaya of Tammuz is hidden. So to share perhaps 2 pshatim. Reb Shalom Arush, so sein Gesunden Stark, was busy giving to so many people across the globe, Yidden and Goyim even, Emunah and Haidah, to appreciation of all Hashem's goodness. So he focuses on this pasuk, and he brings out a very beautiful point. Yadua, the Gemara in Masechtas Megillah says that Haman min haTorah minayin. Where was Haman alluded to in the Torah? Haminu eitz asher tzivisicha levilti yachol mimeno acholta. That the word Hamin, when Hashem said to Adam Rishon after he ate from the eitz hadas, did you eat Haminu eitz asher tzivisicha levilti yachol mimeno acholta? So that Hamin is hey mem nun. That's the remes to Haman. And he said this word because what was Haman's taina? V'chol zein shana v'shoyveli. Nothing is worth anything to me if Mordechai doesn't bow down to me. It's the exact opposite of Akaras HaToiv. You have so much to be happy with, Haman or Russia. Manitzvak, what's wrong with you? You're the top of the world. You're sitting there, and everybody in the country is bowing down to you. Esther Malka doesn't invite anybody besides you. You're a multi-billionaire. You gave 10,000 kikrei kesef to Achashverosh by Yehudim la'abdam. You're the second in command to the king. Well, You have so much. So one person is not bowing down. Mordechai Tzaddik is not bowing down. Sheyeh. But no, like for that, you're miserable. You have nothing. It's worth nothing. Okay, so the Midrashim tell us, we know that Mordechai really had bought Haman, and Haman felt that he was a Zeved, and he showed him the shoe. That in Echanami. But in Pashup Shat. So Rab Shalom Zozan Gesund said that this was really a reflection of the Chet of Adam Rishon also. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put Adam Rishon in Gan Eden. And he says, you can enjoy everything. There's apples and oranges and mangoes and bananas and pears and strawberries. Don't eat from the Eitz Hadas. And Adam Rishon, like, no, I need that. Like, there's so much else to enjoy. There's so much to appreciate. Be thankful that you have all that you have. And the chet, the shoyish chet, so to say, like, I don't know, the kafui toiva, but not appreciating the good and only noticing the one thing that you can't have. And that's what I need to be happy. Kavyachol. So that's what led to the Churban. The pasuk of Haman Rasha, which is like, again, the hemshich of the chet of the Eitz Hadas, that I don't see Hashem's endless chesed to me. I have so much to be grateful for. I'm healthy. I can walk. I can talk. I can see. Chaste Shamayim, I have so much to be grateful. Yes, there are things that are not perfect. There are things that are, but before you look at that, look at all the things that you do have. You have clothing to wear, you have food to eat, you have a house to live in, you have a car, you have whatever, all the gifts, the chasadim that we all have. To train ourselves to feel the power of the good, to feel the power of the love that's behind all the good that we have. And chas v'shalom, if we walk around feeling mikupach, unhappy, it's not fear, like why? You know, like sometimes the kid says, like, why? It's not fear. Why'd you buy my brother a present? You didn't buy, why'd you buy him a bike and you didn't buy me? And like, hello? I bought you roller skates when you needed it. I bought you school supplies. I bought you a new suit for your friend's bar mitzvah. Like, I bought you so much. The one thing you know is why you buy it? Because his bike was broken and he has to get to yeshiva every day and he has to get there on time and they're waiting for the bus. Like, whatever it is, I'm a cheshbon. But like, you know, that's what you noticed. The one thing that I didn't get for you, and you're all upset and all unhappy, and and that's where your space is. That's your feeling. Like you don't love me, Daddy. You don't care about me. Like, ouch, that hurts. That's painful. Look at all the good that I do for you. Kavyachol between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Rabbi Shalom says that's the shayrish of the galus. V'chol zeinenu shayveli. I think it's also pashut that's the Shem Havaya backwards. Ki'ilu, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is being mashpia so much good to you, but you block yourself. You don't allow yourself to see it. That's what brings churban. That's what brings richuk from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because you're not appreciating all his good. When you choose to have the Shem Havaya backwards, not to see all the good he's giving you, not to appreciate all you have, Rachmana litzlan, that's the shorish of galus. I want to share with you another pshat, a little bit coming from the opposite direction. I think it's so important for us to see this. It's not so much the direction of what's causing the churban. It's rather what's happening in the churban. I'll tell you what I mean. I would say in a certain way, if we put ourselves in Haman HaRasha's shoes, I understand them a little bit. I'll tell you why. I don't know, it's maybe a new age way to say it, but Haman HaRasha had self-esteem problems. He really, really did. He lived so externally. He had no self. What does he need? Everyone should bow down to me. Make a law, everyone has to bow down. So everyone's bowing down. And what? Everyone's saying, wow, what a beautiful thing it is to bow down to Haman. Everyone's bowing down to you and thinking, you're such an idiot. Can't stand you. You're such a fool. And yet that's what makes you feel good, because everybody's bowing down to you. Do you have anything inside yourself? Any self-appreciation? Any, like, why do you, like, if nobody notices you, nobody bows down to you, what do you feel about yourself? Where are you living? What are you proud of? What do you feel good about? Like, nothing. He has no self. Everything is like, everyone has to bow down to me. And in a certain way, everyone bowing down to him means nothing because they're also superficial. Tell them to bow down, they bow down. The one person, Ke'ilu, who's really real is Mordechai. And Mordechai's not bowing down to you because he sees the bluff. He's a Pnimi person. He's a person that lives life for real. The Hayben Yid. And when he's not bowing down to you, because like, why should I bow down to you? Who are you anyway? I would bow down to you if you deserve to. Something special about you. Look up to you. Give you covet. Fine. But there's nothing to give you covet for. And that hurts. And in a certain way, this is what I would, the point here. when Haman said, V'chol zeh inenu sheva li, it's because the truth is there's something that he's craving, and what everybody's bowing down to him, ze lo memaleh, it's not filling it up. Because it's fake and it's superficial, they're all just bowing down because they have to bed. And if Mordechai, if he would respect me, if he would find something within me that's valuable, that would mean a lot to me. Because if he would respect me, it would be real. And that I'm missing the thing that I truly need. That there's something about me that's good and valuable. Something that's truly respectful. And that's why it means nothing, everything else. And I need Mordechai to bow down to me. And in a certain way, this is really the tsar of the Churban. This is the tsar of the Churban. Because so many times we get distracted and lost and confused, and we're running after things and investing energy in the things that don't even help. It doesn't fill us up. My house and my car and my clothing and my fancy belt and my fancy shoes and my vacation, and I spend so much money and so much kaiches, and I go to work and I early in the morning and late at night, and and I did renovations and we did the house, and you know what? I'm still mashu lo tov. I'm still not happy. I don't feel good. Like always have to say, let's try the next thing and another renovation. And many years ago, I had a friend who worked as an electrician. Never was nifta very young. Shav Aliyas Nasham, a very special boy. Kitzer, he was hard for him to sit and learn. He had, more of a doer kind of person. He left yeshiva and he went to work when he was about 20 years old. And he apprenticed for an electrician in Borough Park, a Hasidic guy. And one day I was schmoozing with him, and he says to me, I feel so bad for these people. We're building them a house in Flatbush. We're building them. They did the electrical work, but they were doing the electrical work. They said they're building this gorgeous, huge house in Flatbush, and they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on every fixture, and it's fortunes of money just in the kitchen itself. It was like $10,000 worth of fixtures. This is going back 30 years ago. Today, $10,000 is a joke, but then it was like probably about $40,000, $50,000 is today, just on the lighting in the kitchen. I said, so why do you feel so bad for them? He said, you don't understand. 2 years ago, and he also was telling me about this house. He said, it's huge. Like, they bought 2 houses, knocked them both down. They're building like a mansion. So why do you feel so bad for them? He said, because you don't understand. 2 years ago, we just built a huge house in Borough Park, such a fancy schmancy house. Also did, all the electrical work and the lighting and the closed circuit television and the intercoms and blah, 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 for these same people. 2 years later, he said, they're never going to be happy. That's what he told me. He said, look, I see, like, nothing fills you up. You have this gorgeous house. You just built it. Enjoy it. But it doesn't help. It's v'chol zeh inenu sheva li. This is not what I'm looking for. It's just not doing it for me because I'm focused in the wrong place. What do I really want? What would do it for me? Really, I need to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves me. We spoke in one of the other shiurim, in the relationship podcast, we spoke about the Shem Havaya, Ahava and Echad. You know what we crave? We crave Ahava. We crave to be loved. And we crave Echad, unity, not to be lonely, to know someone's always there for me. Someone appreciates me, they care about me, and they're proud of me. They understand me. They feel good with me, with my accomplishments. They share in my pain when I fail myself. And that's what we really crave, is connection. Kirvas Hashem. I believe the first pasuk in Eicha, the Eicha is the Megillah of the Tsar of the Churban. The first pasuk in Eicha is Eicha Yoshva Badad. Ha'ira Basiyom Haizaka Almana. What's the pain of Almana? The loneliness. The loneliness. No one's here with me. No one's here to take care of me, to provide for me, to be interested in my welfare. I feel so alone. I feel so lost. Eicha Yoshva Bada. That's the first 3 words. That's all the physical suffering and pain and the tsar was inside each yid. Eicha Yoshva Bada. It was so alone. We don't have the chibur, the connection to Hashem. And when we're missing that, that's what we want. When we have that, really everything else, kids are money to pay the mortgage this month. I'm not saying, but I'm loved. I'm cared for. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. We have each other. We're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. When we don't have that, Everything else means nothing. Shalom doesn't only mean between us and each other, like we said about the 12 Shotim, all complementing each other, each one. It's shalom between us and Avinu Shabashamayim. I want to be complete because I have you in my life, Hashem. I feel you're closest to me. In the month of Tammuz, where the Shem Havaya is backwards, it's the month where we're not connected. We don't have Hashem Yisbarach's light in our life. We don't see him here with us. Not because he's not, because we don't look to see it and we're not focused on that. And then in that month, it's v'chol zeh inenu shoiva li. Everything. I won the gold medal in the Olympics. I ran the fastest marathon. And I'm accomplished, and my business in Amazon is booming, and I'm renting more warehouses. I'm turning over so much, and I'm making more material, and I bought a private jet, and I'm empty inside. It's not like, it's in the moment, it's great. Like when I buy the new jet ski or whatever, the first time I take my flight on my private jet down to Tampa, whatever it is, like, yo, what's up? It's great, it's fun. And then at night you go to sleep, and a day till later you get frustrated at your wife, upset at your kids. I don't know, whatever it is. It's like, what is it? What will all this do for me? It's not really what I'm looking for. It's not doing it for me. It's pnimi. There's something inside that I'm yearning for. That's the turn the Yudke Vavke back around again. To be able to see, that's Geula. To be able to see the light of Hashem in my life. To know Hashem is here with me. He cares about me. He sees me. He's concerned for me. He understands me. He loves me. He's proud of me. The good that I do. That's what I want. I want to live a life of Torah and mitzvahs and kedusha and tahara. Because I want to be close to you, Hashem. I want to emulate your ways. I want to do the good that you want me to do so that I could feel that kesher that we have with each other. I could feel it. I could live it. I want to look for hashgacha pratis in my life. I don't need to have things. I need to have the love that's behind even having one small little thing. Because I feel you love me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You care about me. You're here with me. You're watching over me. That's what I need to have in my life, Hashem, is feeling your light. That's what's going to make me feel good. I need to feel your presence. That's what's going to give me the sipuk. That's what's going to fill me up inside with peace and joy and satisfaction. Sabe'enu mituvecha. I should be satisfied with your good. Rabbi Aaron Kalina says, doesn't mean I'm asking for a lot of things. Sabe'enu mituvecha. Even one little thing, but I'm satisfied because in it I see your goodness, Hashem. I know that I'm precious to you. I know that you're looking at me and watching me, caring about me. I could have so much, but if I don't see your tuv in it, I'll never be sabe'enu. I'll never be satisfied. Because it's not the things. It's the relationship with the one that's giving me what I have. We should be zeicha. We should be zeicha to end this long and dark and bitter galus. And in a certain way, I think in our dar, we have more shefa of gashmias, of bracha than any generation in the world had. Cars and homes and summer homes and winter homes and vacations and flights and traveling the world. What don't we have? We have so much. And it's all a way of challenging us to see, and is it doing it for you? Viennese tables and smorgasbords and so much shefa. Is it doing it for you? How many people are anxiety, depression, I don't know, Rahman Islam, finding all kinds of chemicals and things to make them feel good? Why don't we just feel good? Because really, we should be zaycha to bring back the light, to bring back the hakara of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's chesed, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's toiv, to live a life of chesed, of kindness, of connection, of emes and ava. Together we should be zaycha to see kimolo ha'oretz, deos Hashem, to feel deos Hashem, to know Hashem. Hashem's the Shem of chesed, the Shem of rachamim, kamayim liyam achasim. Together we should go to greet Mashiach and rejoice once again. Ki korelai moyed, Tisha B'Av should be a yontif.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe. If you would like to help us spread the word, give this video a thumbs up and a 5-star review. Also, don't forget to ask your friends to subscribe as well. If you would like to partner with us and sponsor an episode, send an email to info@JFoundations.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. We will see you in the next video.